Welcome back, insufferable gaming fans. Your old pal Rosser here. And just as an aside note, I wanted to point out that while I was riding around, I found a hill full of pumpkins. So I'm going to take as many of these as I can get, because they are fairly rare, and you can make really decent lanterns out of them. So that's what we're doing for right now. And then I'll show off some of the holdings. I found this hill of pumpkins when I was riding around to my new land holdings, and I spotted a hut that I didn't build. And after I got to looking for a while, I realized that that's a hut that a friend of mine made when he got lost over here and found these pumpkins, but he didn't make it back to shore. But fortunately, I did find them. So now that I have them, I'll be able to use them. So, I was gonna show off some of my other stuff that I found. Actually, there's lots of neat stuff around here, so I'll have to come back later. In the distance there, you can see one of my towers. Should be another one spottable from around here somewheres. My tower of recklessly irresponsible design, since last week, has gone through some improvements. I was going to show off that my design does work. It just took some work. Just gotta find my way over to it. Admittedly, that might take a moment, because I've gone pretty far afield. If I get too awful lost, I've got my compass to help me find my way back. If not, we might just go all the way around to my newish island area. We'll see how it pans out. Seems like I'm pretty far abroad of anything useful at the moment. There's a neat gravel beach. I actually need some more sand to melt down into glass, but aha, there we go. There's my tower of recklessly irresponsible design, far in the distance. Let's head on over. Let's use a boat, assuming I don't somehow manage to get it wrecked. Or have it escape. My boat's escaping. Fantastic. Alright, here we go. Back to the Tower of Recklessly Irresponsible Design. And it looks like I've managed to screw up some forest cutting there. I've got a bit of tree floating in midair. I'll take care of that later. But for now, we'll just park over here. And watch my boat shatter to dust. Ugh, I hate getting out of a boat in this game. It seems so arbitrary. But that's okay, because from here, I have an underground path to where I want to go. But first, let's do the high dive. Yay! Who doesn't love the high dive? No one, that's who. Assuming I don't get caught on a ledge and fall off prematurely, which has been known to happen. Someday I'll rework all of this to be safer. Or not, depending on my whim. Actually, I have some more, I have some decorative work to do on the tower still. But now, we can fall down here and live. Whee! Sploot! So, we'll just take this underground passage to the new island that I found last time, which turns out isn't so much an island as a continent. So I had I left it open for my viewers to name the island, but since it's not an island, I decided to go with the following. I have named the land, and I have decided to name various features of the land and large building projects, so that way everyone wins. Or everyone loses, depending on how you look at it. But I can't deny any of my swell fans their creativity, so I'm using everyone's ideas. Okay. This is the route to the new land. And it did take quite a long time to dig in a route. You'll see just how far I had to travel underground. There was also lava to be rerouted, veins to be tapped out. Got lots of resources from this dig, so that was good. It was not for nothing, let me tell you. Getting a bit laggy, unfortunately. That's to be expected. I do have a pretty vast volume of land explored here, so of course it tends to get laggy. This took a while to excavate. There was lots of loose dirt and gravel and ore veins. I just happened into more of the same. This is why from now on I always bring a compass with me, so that I don't get lost underground, above ground, or any combination of the bunch. You must admit this is a pretty long haul. Heard some spiders back there, but they're either above me or around the other side. And here's a chamber I've been widening out. I'm just going to make a huge chamber and collect all the resources I can out from here for my building projects. But if I head up here, we get back. Long ladder. And I'll show you some neat things about the place. If I don't get stuck on a wall on the way up. Alright, here we are up top. It's dark outside, so we'll wait a moment. But this is the development hut I've made here. You know, I always set up a base when I start developing a new operation. But when I climbed down, I found this neat little natural cavern here. And I've been using this for storage and fishing purposes. As you can see, I've got a ton of rocks. And whenever I get massively injured, I can just catch some fish here. Assuming I throw the thing right. And I can cook those up top. So that is how I get from my main base to this new operation. And, well, I guess it's safe enough to show you some of the things. As you can see, I went with Mr. Steve Hazard's initial idea and decided to call this new land Terra Magnifica. And this is the Terra Magnifica Development Office. I've had this blown up by creepers a couple of times, but it's safe enough to walk around a bit. If we head out, we will come to the Gesundheit Point Beacon Tower. And this is just something I made so that when you get close to the place, you'll be able to see it from the sea. Also, it adds a good point of reference. It's kind of a neatly designed tower. I made holes around opposite sides, so you kind of have to go around to hop up. I still need a lot more glass because I ran out of sand in the beach, and that's why I need more sand. But I've been working on lighting up this area, because what I want to do is I want to make it so that monsters don't spawn on this island during the dark times. Also, I made some stone beacons out into the sea, light beacons, so that you could follow them to the place from my various other towers. Basically, navigation is key, and I'm going to cover this whole thing with a dome of glass, so that'll make it neat. Just head on back down here. I'll get out my bow and arrow in case I'm attacked. I've tried to keep the natural terrain of this island as much intact as possible, because I kind of like the natural look of this place. I've got like a neat little lagoon down there, and assorted things like that. Little cavelets, which I fell into foolishly. It's okay, it's okay. Don't want to go too much farther than here because I don't really have the rest of it torched out quite well. Though I do... Oh, there's a creeper. Vaya con Dios, Senor Creeper. Mr. Creepamundo. Deader than a hammer. Why not? Let's live dangerously for a bit. Ah. Looks like I did torch some of that other land up over there. So let's see if we can make it to it without getting murdered by all manner of baddies. I know, it's unlikely at best. Down there you can see that first cave that I found when I first arrived. Just lots of neat things here. Okay. Wow, look at the time. It's getting dangerous out here all of a sudden. I really should have a sword out at some point here. Maybe that'll fix things up. I hear more spiders. And that's a skeleton. Well, let's run like hell from that. This is a fun adventure, yes? Yes. It's not too hard to just go ahead and use up as many torches as possible when you have the capacity to see what they're affecting. And I really did want to kind of light up this little lagoon here. We're playing a game I like to call Press Your Luck. There's already a game called that, but mine's different. Mine involves zombies and skeletons and spiders and exploding bush monsters. So that makes it inherently better. Fortunately, it's almost dawn, so... we've done a good job torching the place up. Made some definite progress against the trespasses of the evil knight. So long, creeper. I want to collect as much of that gunpowder as I possibly can, because I'm planning a project with gunpowder real soon. You know, it occurs to me that a faster way to get rid of some of this dense forest and create light at the same time would just be to burn it down. Yeesh. I got a bit injured there. Fortunately, I'm looking for an excuse to replace my armor. So, now that my pants are finally exploded all the way, I can make some new pants. Hey, are those more pumpkins up there? Well, talk about a huge score. Ugh. If I don't get myself killed dicking about, we'll collect some of those pumpkins. And I've also been, you know, I've been taking out a lot of these trees just because it has been so hard to see with all the trees. Forest trees, word sentences, whatnot. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to collect these pumpkins. All of them. Ryan Sulphur, eat your heart out. I have just scored the big time. I won't use any kind of actual normal tool because tools degrade, torches don't. Dig a dig a dig, dig a dig a dig dig dig. Now if I could just find a whole mess of cactus, I'd be set. Excellent. These pumpkins will go great in my Halloween themed section. Assuming I can make one correctly. Just keep plopping down torches as we go. Cut our way through. I'll be back for this wood and lumber later. For now, we can just kind of ignore it. But you see, we can still see the beacon tower from here, which makes it a really good investment. Off a cave. We'll explore that a little later too. Yeah, I didn't really appreciate just how large this area was until I started heading around on it. And I haven't decided. I may do some strip mining down, or I may just, that was foolish. I may just, branch mine it for a bit, or I might just leave the resources intact for now. But basically, what I have here is a large, wide open area with lots of hills and lagoons. And it is the future site of Plunderer's Park. So I'm planning on making some log flumes and some roller coasters, some splashdowns. Just basically make all the fun stuff that you can make in this game around in this land. You know, put in some jacuzzis, maybe an art museum. And yeah, that's basically what I'm doing with this. The area back where I started is my serious mining corporation business, but here it's all going to be about the fun. So hopefully I'll be able to build some neat stuff without getting blown all to hell. You can kind of see my guide beacons a little better from here. Those head all the way back to the mainland. But that is basically what I have planned for Terra Magnifica. So, hopefully that'll go well. And until next time, this is your old pal Rosser. Take a drink.